up in a very be seen and not heard kind of household. There was domestic violence, there was a lot of neglect and abandonment. I was such a cute little chubby girl. I think this is where my negative body image really started. It was, being at school and noticing that I was bigger than all the other girls, but not really having anybody to talk to about it. The emotional eating started at a very young age. I feel like my best years were as a teenager. I felt like my very expressed self. I was a leader a lot. I was the leader of a kapa haka group. I was the leader at high school as a house captain. Obviously, I loved that shit. So I really thrived in that time. I'd speak up for what I thought was right. I started working really young. I got my first job when I was 13 years old at Jester's. And I went and put this Rocawear bag with a matching purse on lay-by. I'd wear it to school, y'all. Like, I was just so extra with that. And I was so extra, like, I'd have these big events for my birthday. And now that I think about it, I was just trying to get everything I didn't have as a kid. We grew up in government housing and there was food grants. We went to Winds a lot, all that kind of stuff. But I really wanted to be that cool, so extra girl. And as time went on, like, people would comment like, oh, you're so extra. You're over the top. Sometimes when people say it so much, they comment on, why are you showing your stomach? Like, because I was a big girl, but I was proud. Like, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do me. And I guess, like, it slowly does kind of dim your light. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a flight attendant, and I got my dream job as an international flight attendant, and it was some of the best years of my life. Traveling around to different countries, getting exposed to all the experiences, and then I got fired. I was heartbroken. Like, my heart had been broken by a boy before, but this was like that times a million. And at the time, like, I had a gold convertible. I was traveling the world. I was flatting with my best mates. Like, I was living my best life, and it all came crashing down. I just remember being like, well, what the fuck is the point? What's the point? Depression hit. I was broke and I was seeking so much outside validation in men. So I ran away. I moved to Melbourne. I got to Melbourne thinking everything will be better, but it just got worse. I was numbing out with alcohol, drinking, smoking, drugs, eating. I had really bad body image issues. I'd talk shit to myself. I'd literally look in the mirror and be like, you fucking fat, ugly slob. I was so insecure. I hated my house. I would go home and crawl up in a ball and cry myself to sleep. I hated everything, and I had decided that, fuck, I can't live like this. I want to do something different with my life. I decided that I was going to change, and it wasn't like a magic, like, click your fingers, I'm going to change type thing. Like, I was reading a book, and yeah, I'd be out partying, drinking, doing drugs, but I'd be coming back and listening to a podcast and dipping in and out and slowly getting more of it to this side, then that side, and slowly shutting down those toxic relationships, toxic people, toxic work environments, so on and so on. And I started a business. So Extra, it's in the word, right? So Extra was like, this was the rebirth of me. It got so extra to become my full-time income. I was in a household that I really hated. The energy was just so off, and I created my own household. I got my own house with my beautiful partner, and we created our own energy in here. And I wake up and I'm like, damn, like, this is me. Like, I did this. And to stop seeking that outside validation of friendships and looking cool online and the likes and, looking in the mirror and speaking shit to myself. Like, now as I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, damn, girl, like, look at you. And it's not about the weight as well, y'all. I'm the biggest I've ever been, but I'm the most confident and in love with myself that I have ever been. When I was trying to find a life coach, I really struggled to see someone who looked like me. I really wanted someone that I could relate to, that knew where I came from, my culture, and I couldn't find it. So I'm becoming it, right? Be the change you wish to see in the world. The change that I made in my life, I want to help so many women change their lives as well.